Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Happy Tuesday. Today we're going to do the next 5 stages, stages 28 to 32 of the Deagostini Collectables release, I Built the Ford GT. So as you can see, I brought up the interior, and this is what we've been working on previously, because pretty much today's video and pack is going to be all to do with adding things to this, including the dashboard that we created. And here's the dashboard here. We're going to be putting the steering wheel in that. We're going to be mounting this all into the interior. So it's all about the interior today. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link down the bottom there to the Deagostini Collectables website. If you click on that link, you can get this all the way from pack 1. But without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, so stage 28 here. Each stage does come with its own magazine, as you can see here. We're going to be putting some switches in, and we've got the pedals as well, so I'm guessing these are to do with the brakes and stuff. Get these electrics in place, put the pedals in place as well, so by the end of it, it's looking just like that. So everything I need is in this pack here. So first cable I need is cable that's labelled number 1 here, and this is a switch. So I'm just going to straighten this wire out so there's no kinks in it. I've now got a perfectly straight wire. Bringing over the dashboard here, on this side you can see we've got 2 slots that these switches are going to be able to turn in. So number 1 is just going into this one here, pushing it down like that, get it in all the way. I'll use my tweezers here. Again, these tweezers are available through the Oligo Models website. They look just like this. There's a whole set of them, and the link for that is on my link tree that you saw at the start of the video. So there we go, that's the first switch in place. Then we get switch 2. Again, straighten this out, got no broken leads there, and then that's going to go into the cavity just next to it here. Perfect. Now we do want to hold them into place, so to do that we have got a little tab here which is going to go over the top of those if it doesn't fall off. There you go, like this. And that's held in with an FP02 screw, which I've got just here. And screw that all the way down. Excellent. Now both of these cables here are going to need to go through the hole that you can see in the floor where my finger is underneath. So let's get them through. 1 and 2. Perfect. I've then got myself this lovely chrome piece, which is some brake and clutch pedal rods. They're going to go into this piece here that you can see with the accelerator. There's a hole just there, so I'm going to push that all the way in, making sure it's around the right way, so the higher section here is towards the inside. Turning this over, this is going to be held into place with a screw. That's an FP05 screw. One of these screws that are so tiny that I'm having to use my really tiny screwdriver like that, and we'll get this in. Once that's in place, I can actually take the pedals for that, and you do see 2 lugs just at the back. They're going to go into the 2 holes in this section here. So line these up, 1, 2, and just push them down. So now that looks like that. And I think you can see how this is going to work. When we actually push down on these pedals, the lug here is going to make those switches operate there. Now we do need another very tiny FP05 screw, and I'm going to secure that in just with this top hole just there. Excellent. All I'm going to do then is take the base of this, which you can see we've got a larger hole and a smaller hole. That's going to match where this is going in front of those switches. So put that into place here, just like that. And that's held in with FP01 screws. I just referred to it as the plural then, when there's only 1 screw to put in. So let's turn this over and putting 1 screw just in the hole here. Excellent. So make sure that they click when we go out. So that one's perfect. And as you can hear the click, that one's perfect as well. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That brings us swiftly on to stage 29. Again, this is the magazine here. And in this one, looks like we're going to be doing some stuff to do with the steering wheel. We are actually going to be creating the steering wheel, putting this in its place on the dashboard. So we're going to need the dashboard here. And then it looks like once that's mounted, that's all there is to do in that stage. I always like checking the quality of these builds now. This is all metal. The bar is metal. Everything here to do with the gear here. So it's the gear that I'm actually going to be using first. So what we have is a D-shaped hole just... Now you do want that to go all the way down. So I am going to just give it a bit of a... I'm happy with that. That's perfect. The other end of this is going to be going onto the steering wheel. And as you can see, it's got like a keyhole. So it can only go in one way. Get that lined up there. And that's the steering wheel in place. Now this is metal. So you know what I'm going to say. Put it in a bit of oil. And get this screw down the end. We don't want to close that off with the logo here, so make sure we have this the right way round. This is going to be the straight steering wheel, so this is going on this way. It does have 3 little holes, so you can't put it in wrong. Push that in. Ugh. Make sure that's nice and flush. So now that looks like that. Position here. We do want the wheel section here to be into that section there, so that can't move. And then I do have a bracket here to go on. It's going to go on this way over the top, and that's going to keep everything into place. And we do need 2 of these, and this one's 2, which means... And this one's 2, which means this steering wheel isn't moving. Don't know if we're actually doing that. I think they've just got that on top at the moment. Okay, so stage 30. This is what the magazine is looking like. Give you a quick flick through there. Again, each stage does come with its own magazine. It looks like we're doing the steering rack, which does mean... Now you can bet your bottom dollar that if the steering is metal... Okay, so to start this stage, we're going to bring this over again. And we've got a steering support here again. I'm interested in this section here because I've got a steering support to put in place. And that looks just like that. That's going to go in this way and is secured in with 2 FP01 screws. Actually from the top this time. So push them into place and screw that all the way down. That's 1 and just 1 on the other side. When we're happy that's in, I'm going to be taking the steering rack here. Let's move that wire out of the way, and we're going to have it this way. And then to keep it in just at this side here from coming out, we've got a battery box here, which is just going to go over the top of this section there. And again, it's held in with FP01 screws. So I've got 1 to put in from the top, just here. That will lock that into place. And then I've got 2 to put in from the underside. I'll turn this over just into these holes here. So, probably best on the top camera, I'm going to take the dashboard now with the steering wheel in there. Putting that through here so it engages into the hole that we got just at the back there. And I want it engaged into the rack as well. So I'm going to make sure everything's in the middle here. Excellent. And there we go. That's fully in. And when you've got it in, actually, it automatically lines up where the dashboard's going here from the underside. Now, the good thing about this is that these are now fully in place, which means that that dashboard isn't going anywhere. And it also means the steering isn't going anywhere. So theoretically, I should be able to demonstrate this. If we turn the steering wheel here, as you can see, the rack moves. One of the simpler ones to do. In stage 31 here, we're adding some extra details now to that interior. And as you can see here, we've got the roll bar to put in. This is just... I've noticed straight away these are plastic and there's no screws in this stage, so I'm guessing this is just going to be seated into some holes, which I can see straight away are right here. We've got two each side, so this is just going to be a clip-in. So let me just show you on this side here. Whoops, as you can see we've got two holes there to go in. So line both sides up and then push that in. All we got then is this bar here, which has got a little bend there. We want the bend here to be towards the front. Get this into position there. The back goes in here. Just like that. Can only fit. Which means the last stage of this pack, stage 32. Again, we've got some more details to put on this. We're going to be putting the battery box. We've got some electrics here, which is the speaker. So it looks like it's powered with LR44 batteries. If it's got a battery box like that, I will check that in a second. But once this is in place... And looking at the battery box, I would say LR44. They do look a little bit bigger. I don't know if it actually tells me in the instructions what they're going to take. It does look slightly bigger than LR44, but we'll have to see when we actually come to putting batteries in this. So I've brought the interior over, turned it upside down. I'm interested in this hole just here. Here's the battery box. That's just going to go in place on top of this section and fits in just like that. It's going to be held in with 2 FP. And that one's 2. And while we've got it around this way, you can probably see where the speaker's going to go. So when I put this in, it's going to be fitting this way round. So the wire is coming out the back, straddled around that lug that you can see there. I do want to stop that coming out. So we do have a bracket to put over the top of it, which looks just like this. That's just going to go over. And once again, secured in with 2 FPO. That's the speaker in, which means if I turn this over this way now, the last thing to put in place is the cover for the battery box. That looks like that. We've got 2 little holes at the bottom, which are going to go into the 2 lugs that we can see just there. So when this goes in, it sort of pushes down on there, so it's easy to take out when we're putting. But with that in place, that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. That was a nice chill out time. That was 5 stages, and it has made a great improvement. We've got the steering in place now to the interior of the car. Although my seatbelt wants to go all over the place at the moment. I will have to tidy them up. But you get how that looks. That's looking really good. Once again, if you want to get this for yourself, have put a link in the video description. You can get this all the way from pack 1. Remember, there's no live stream tonight. So the next live stream will be for you Patreons tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. And I'll post a link for that in the Patreon channel. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.